Welcome everyone to our Thursday night shiur, our LESHEM. We're back after many weeks, and we're continuing because when we start, we're not allowed to finish. We're not allowed to stop until we finish. And we're shiur number 13, if I'm not mistaken. In our Sfarim Daf Mem Aleph on the bottom, we were in the middle of Hakdama Bet, talking about Ibur Nishamot. What's Ibur Nishamot? Just to give you a small recap, we said that if a person finishes his nefesh, now it's not fair right now, he cannot get his ruach because he's a miglulga, he's a reincarnated person. He cannot get his ruach now because he's already reincarnated. It's not his first gilgul anymore. Once you're in your second gilgul, you need to die to get your ruach and an. So what happens now? Instead of dying, what Hashem will do, He will send you an ibur neshama of a soul of a tzaddik. And this soul of a tzaddik will act as your ruach. And the both of you will have a kesher amitz, a very strong connection, even in an olam haba. And the Ari goes so far as to say that you could even have a nitzotz of the soul of Avraham Avinu inside of you. You could go so far into the line, you could go so deep into getting a nitzotz of Avraham Avinu. And this is the secret that Ari says, that en dor, there isn't a generation where you don't have Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And we know the famous Gemara in Masechet Megillah, where Rabbi Chia and his two sons, Yehuda and Chizkiah, were the Gilgulim. The Gemara says that Eliyahu Navi told Yehuda Nasi, if Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov go all pray for the Amud, Mashiach will come. He says, who's that in our generation? Rabbi Chia and his two sons. So they were really
they did that, right?
Yeah, they did that. So they almost, yeah.
Said, who said that?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You know the Eliyahu Navi stories. So really, they're not the Gilgulim of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Rather, the Ariach explains, there isn't a generation where there isn't a person who is zochet to the ibur of the nitzotz nishmat of Avraham Avinu, Yitzhak Avinu. That's also the secret where in the future, when Mashiach comes, we're going to sit in the sukkah of the Leviathan. And over there's going to be Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, the Midrash says, and they're all going to want to say Kiddush, Kos Shel Bracha. And David HaMelech is going to say the Kos Shel Bracha, Savri Maranan. But we know Tchiat HaMetim is before Olam Haba. Mashiach, Zman Mashiach is before Tchiat HaMetim. So how is Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov over there? Ela, every generation you have a Ibur Neshama of Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And obviously Mashiach himself will be the Ibur Nishmat of David HaMelech. Okay? So everyone over here can be Zochet.
So not the actual David. They're gonna be
not the actual David, because David HaMelech is already fixed and he's in Gan Eden. He's waiting for Tchiat HaMetim, but the Ibur of his Nitzotz of his Neshama. Now let's continue. Okay? Gam lifamim, there are times, Rabotai, יארע, שאחר שנתגלגלו יחד שלושת חלקיו, נפש, רוח, הנשמה שלו, ונתקנו כולם. Sometimes a person will be so zoche in his lifetime that he will fix his nefesh, his ruach, and his neshama, right? The person has 5 parts to his soul. Usually, sometimes the Ari just says neran. Instead of saying narnachi, which is an acronym for nefesh, ruach, neshama, chayechida, he'll just say neran. Why? Once a person fixes his neshama, that's it, he's good to go. He has no Yetzer Hara anymore, once he gets his neshama. So sometimes the Ari will just abbreviate and say neran. Okay? So sometimes a person will fix all 3 parts of his nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Ki az yit'aber bo eze nefesh or ruach shel eze tzaddik niskar, and if he will be zoche, he'll get the soul of some tzaddik as a ibur, impregnation. Hine kshiyipater min ha'olam yuchal lit'alot k'fi b'chinet hatzaddik hahu shenit'aber bo. V'sham be'olam haba yu shneim b'ma'alat madarga achad. So the Ari teaches us a chidush now. So let's say we have Yisrael over here. Right? Yisrael was able to fix all 3 parts of his neshama. Nefesh, ruach, and neshama. In short, we call it ne-ran. Nefesh, ruach, neshama. He fixed it. Fixed all 3. Now, he doesn't die. Why? Hashem sends inside of him, with his zechuyot, an ibur nishmat tzaddik. An ibur. Let's say he's zochet to the soul of, I don't know, Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. Like we know Rabbi Chaim Vital, the author of our book, his father was a nitzotz nishmat of Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. And he was a sofer, yes. Rabbi Chaim Vital's father was a sofer. Just like his, in Ibur Neshama, Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes was what? A sofer also, he was a lavlai. Right? He once wrote the whole Megillat Esther by heart. He went to a place, and he didn't have a Megillat Esther on Purim. Could you imagine back in the days? He didn't have a Megillat Esther. You think our generation is bad. Oh, if you look at the Gemara, besides for Iraq and Eretz Israel, the whole Jewish world was depleted of Torah, mamash. And he rewrote the whole Megillat Esther by heart. By heart! So Rav Chaim Vital's father, his name was Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef Vital. The Magid, the Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, told Rav Chaim Vital that the Magid, he had a special angel that taught him Torah, told him that half of the world is standing because of the tefillin and the mezuzot that your father writes. Just in the zechut of your father's tefillin, they're so kasher, they're so good. He writes them with such kavanah. Half of the world is alive because of your father's tefillin. And the Ari HaKadosh explained to Rabbi Chaim Vital when he met him later on that your father is a nitzotz nishmat Rabbi Meir Balanes. That's why he has such an amazing talent in being a sofer. So you see the sofrim, any occupation you do in Torah, Mitzvah Tovim, has a certain connection to your previous Gilgul. It's not for nothing that a person is a rabbi, a person is a shocher, a person is a mohel, a person, all because his shorish neshama is very connected to that job. Like we see, Rabbi Yosef Vital was who? Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. That was neshama. The Ari told Rabbi Chaim Vital that if it wasn't for a certain sin that your father did in the last Gilgul, he would have been 10 times higher than you in this Gilgul. What? You could ask a question. What was of one sin? And we're going to learn later on, if Hashem is zocheh, what's usually the sin that a Talmid Chacham causes himself not to be smart when he becomes reincarnated? When he had ga'ava, because of his Torah. Rabbi Shimon Agassi explains, when a Talmid Chacham has ga'ava, it causes him in the next Gilgul to have a distance from the Torah. It will cause him not to remember his Torah. Now they have to work extra hard to get the Torah.
But it's good to have a little bit, no?
An eighth of an eighth, the Gra says. Who has an eighth of an eighth? Do you even know how to measure? That's exactly my question. You understand? So
only when they put you down, no?
The Gemara says that you're allowed to say a little bit of a person's shvachim. A little bit of a person's good things, his attributes. A little bit, yeah, next to him. You can't say everything. Why? To give him a push to continue in his good deeds. You know, a little bit is good. What? Mitoch shelo lishma, ba lishma. But if a person has no emunah in Hashem and he learns shelo lishma, it will never be lishma at the end. Now, what we were saying, so Yisrael over here fixed his nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Right? He fixed it. So Hashem gives him ibur. Let's say he gets the ibur in neshama of Rabbi Meir Balanes. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes goes inside Yisrael. This connection that they have with their neshamot right now will cause that in the future, after Yisrael passes away, he's not going to stay in Gan Eden in his spot, in his generation. He'll be able to jump up to whose spot in Gan Eden? Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. He'll chill with the Tanaim basically. So let's say Rabbi Chia and his sons, they had Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, right? Ibur Neshama. So in Gan Eden, according to the Ari HaKadosh, they're not going to stay in the same Gan Eden as the Tanaim. They're going to be in Gan Eden in whose level? Avraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Because just as in this world they were connected in their Neshamot, so too in the next world they have a certain privilege to jump up to that level. That's amazing. So, and a person could be zocheh and ibur all the time. If you do shtayim mikra v'achat targum every Erev Shabbat, and you dip in the mikveh Erev Shabbat, Bezrat Hashem, you'll be able to have a tosefet neshama. What's a tosefet neshama? What's that extra soul that you get? What do you think that is? It's a ibur neshama. Once Rav Chaim Vital, the Ari told him he was zocheh to Chizkiyahu HaMelech. But he got angry on Shabbat and it left him. The one thing that makes you lose your ibur neshama is anger. When a person gets angry, even to your kids, you lose your ibur.
Very easy now to be angry now.
That's the whole thing, you know?
What's the definition of angry though?
Anger?
No, meaning to what point is that point that the ibur neshama leaves? Meaning just a little bit, or?
So a person is not chaya, like when the Gemara says a person who gets angry is like he did avodah zarah, that's only in a case where he breaks something. But a ibur neshama is when he feels any sort of anger. That's when he loses his ibur neshama. But to be like an oved avodah zarah, chas v'shalom, that's if he breaks kelim b'chamoto. And you should know one thing, the Ben Ish Chai even has a tikkun for that. You have to dip in the mikveh 151 times, kiminyan ka'as, and you have to give 151 prutot l'tzedakah. If a person gets angry. It's a very bad thing, anger. Let's continue, Rabotai. So in Olam Haba, this Israel is going to be with Rabbi Meir Baal. That's why in the Gemara also there's a story of how all the chairs of all the Chachamim would go up to In Shamayim with angels. But Rabbi Chia and his two sons, they would go up without angels. Rabbi Chia, not Rabbi Chia and his two sons, just Rabbi Chia. Why? Because he was the Ibur Nishmat of Avraham Avinu. It was a very high level. Even the angels couldn't be next to him. וזה סוד, מה שכתוב בהקדמת בראשית בספר הזוהר, שנפל הרשב"י עליו השלום על פניו וראה את רב חמנון הסבא, ואמר לו דברו על מה יביון שביבין יחד הוא רב חמנון סבא, ודאי בזה. Many times we see in the Zohar HaKadosh guys, where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is walking around and he sees a guy that he calls him the big fish. His neshama is the big fish. Who is that? A rabbi called Rav Hamnun Saba, very big rabbi. He was the master of Kabbalah before Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, before him. And a lot of times it says in the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon would fall on his face and he would see Rav Hamnun Saba. He would see him. And Rav Hamnun Saba would tell him in the Zohar HaKadosh, in the next world, you and me, we're buddies. We're going to be sitting together. What does that mean, we'll be sitting together? He didn't actually see Rav Hamnun Saba. He was talking to his own Ibur Neshama. You could get to a level where you could feel who's inside of you and you could have a conversation with him.
It's different level.
So Rav Chaim Vital, for example, was able to talk to, and we're going to learn later, this is at the end of the book already, Rav Chaim Vital used to get Ibur Neshama of a rabbi called Rav Yeva Saba. Also one of the writers of the Zohar. He wrote Sefer Mishpatim. And a lot of times he would hear Rav Yeva Saba talking to him and he would talk to him back and he would tell him stuff about his Neshama. It's a very high level. Today, if somebody would see somebody talking to him, he would say he's retarded. But this is the level that he got to. And many tzaddikim, even our generation, I heard there was one rabbi, Rav Shalom Shmueli, that he's able to go to the kever of tzaddikim and do hishtadchut and speak to the actual soul of the tzaddik. No. Yeah, he's the elder Mikubah. He's 102 years old. He just had a birthday not long ago. 102 years old he is. He's the elder Mikubah. When Rav Mordechai Sha'abi passed away, he said, Rav Shalom Shmueli is taking my spot. But he was so humble, he never took the spot of Rosh Yeshiva, he gave it to his son, Rav Benayahu Shmueli. You understand? He's a very big tzaddik. I was zoche to talk to him once.
Rav Benayahu Shmueli?
Rav Benayahu Shmueli is his son.
Oh, his son.
Yeah. Now, so we see that Rav Hamnun Saba was inside who? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He was zoche to be with him in the next world. Continuing, there are two reasons why a person could get an ibur. Two reasons why he could get the impregnation of a tzaddik inside of him. First reason is Yisrael, for example, let's say he has his nefesh or neshama. He didn't fix it so much. It's 90% fixed. Now Hashem is chafetz leman tzidko. Hashem wants you to fix your neshama. Now, but to get that last 10%, to get to 100%, is very hard. Because the last is the hardest, right? Person always falls at the end. You could be at a tikkun, you could be doing a tikkun, suddenly at the end of the last 10 minutes, stay, you have 10 minutes left. Suddenly the person leaves. The end is the most important. So what does Hashem do? Hashem chafetz leman tzidko. So he sends a ibur, let's say, of a tana inside a person, and this tana helps him to get to what? 100%. That's the first reason why you get an ibur of a nishmat of a tzaddik.
To help you.
That's where you can get up to that tzaddik's level, no, olam haba, very big level. You don't want to stay in the same, you don't want to chill with all those people you chill today in this generation, right? You don't want to be in this level in Shamayim. You want to be in Avraham Avinu's level, Yitzchak Avinu's level, mitaneg miziv hashchina. You want first class tickets. You don't want to be in coach. You don't want to be in economy. Back in the days, they used to have smoking section also. You want to be in the smoking? There's still a smoking section over there in Shamayim. You don't want to be there.
I have a question, I'm sorry.
Wait, okay.
Question is, like, when we say 90%, right? For example, person doesn't eat, he only eats Beit Yosef, whatever. He fixed the kashrut side, right? So, does the person nishama fixed based on his mitzvot individually, meaning in sense, or like everything? Because you said 90% of it's fixed.
Yeah.
All the mitzvot?
No. So 90% means that he did 90% of what was left for him to do in this mission, in this world. Let's say he has one more thing left to do. For example, he has to have more children. There's a mitzvah derabanan to have children in your old age, right? He never fulfilled this mitzvah. He had his Pirya B'Reviyah and he said, Shalom alay nafshi. So Hashem wants him to have, to fix his tikkun already. So he did everything, kashrut, this, that, and his level. So Hashem will send inside of him a neshama of a tzaddik that will help him, give him that boost to overcome his yetzer hara, to even have kids in his old age. That's what he means over here. Okay? This tzaddik, what does it help you do? It helps you get to new spiritual heights. This tzaddik. So for example, there's Ben Ish Chai, for example. Ben Ish Chai, why was he such a tzaddik? He wouldn't even allow nida, woman over the age of 12, cook his food. All the women that will cook his food are either old women who don't have their periods anymore, their time of the month, or either younger women who never got it. So he would even eat his food in holiness. It's a very high level already. How do you think he got to that level? He had Ibur Nishamot Tzadikim. We know that he had Benayahu Ben Yoyada inside of him. Some people say it was a Gilgul of Yoav Ben Siruyah. Now the first reason why a person gets an Ibur is for whose benefit? Rabbi Meir's benefit or Yisrael's benefit? It's for Yisrael's, it's for Suruli's benefit. Right? Because Rabbi Meir, he doesn't want to come down, but Hashem sends him, Ki Hashem chafetz laman tzidko. So Hashem is doing you a favor, not Rabbi Meir a favor.
But he doesn't get affected.
So let's see. There's a second reason why a person gets a Ibur. What will be the second reason? Leto'elet hatzadik. Sometimes Hashem puts a Ibur, not for Yisrael, but this time it's for whose benefit? The Tana's benefit, Rabbi Meir's benefit. How can it be his benefit? As Rabbi Meir helps Yisrael do his mitzvot, guess who also gets pluses in his bank account? Not only Yisrael, also Rabbi Meir.
But did you say he finished already?
So he is mosif. There's no such thing as finishing in Torah. You could always get more and more and more and more chesed, more tzedakah, more dvarim tovim. You say, even though Rabbi Meir finished his job already, but by being inside of Yisrael, and Yisrael is now doing more mitzvot because of him, technically speaking, he's doing chesed. That's why we learn tzadikim b'mitatan kruim chayim. This is the secret. Because the tzaddik comes back down in this world and it goes inside the humans' bodies, and the people's bodies, and they help them do more mitzvot, more masim tovim. וזה סוד גדולים צדיקים שאפילו במיטתם זוכים לבנים. Great are tzadikim because even when they're dead, they have children. How tzadikim when they passed away, they have children by coming as a ibur and helping people do more mitzvot. Not only that, he becomes the ibur neshama, becomes a father. A father to the person he's coming into. Could you imagine what levels a Jewish person could reach? Ariel, did you imagine? You could even reach the level of having Eliyahu Hanavi inside of you. 100%. How do you think Eliyahu Hanavi is going to come at the end of days, time of Mashiach?
Ibur.
You think he's actually going to be resurrected from the dead or come from Shammai? He's going to come as a Ibur. He's going to come as a Ibur Neshama.
No, it's still alive.
There's two Eliyahu. There's Eliyahu Hatishbi and Eliyahu Mishevet Binyamin. There's two Eliyahus. The Gemara says that Eliyahu Hanavi that comes and sees everywhere, it's Eliyahu from the tribe of Benjamin. Yeah. But the Eliyahu Hatishbi, he doesn't come down. He doesn't come down.
That's the one that went up?
That's the one that went up.
No.
Yes. Look at the Gemara, Masechet Sukkah. You gotta learn the Gemara, Tzadik. Masechet Sukkah.
I'll show you the book.
Okay. However, in the end of days, there's going to be no Tchiat HaMetim yet. No Tzadik, that's even the Ariya Kadosh that saw Eliyahu Hanavi face to face. That saw Eliyahu Hanavi face to face. Even in that instance, it wasn't like people could see him speaking to Eliyahu Hanavi. He only came to him privately, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Okay? However, the Eliyahu Hanavi that will come in our generation will be a Navi. A prophet. Remember, guys, the way you know that Mashiach is Mashiach, Eliyahu Hanavi must come before him and reveal himself as a prophet. He must. If there is no prophecy, that means before Mashiach comes, there will be a time in Israel that people will reach the level of prophecy. I'm telling you guys, this is halakha. Yes, halakha. It's halakha. Before Mashiach comes, 10, 15, 20 years before, I don't know, there has to be a certain time where people will reach the level of prophecy.
Or dreams, obviously.
Dreaming is one way of prophecy. Now, Ruach HaKodesh never stopped from Am Yisrael. We have tzaddikim with divine inspiration, but it's becoming less and less and less and less and less. Okay? However, B'nai Nevi'im, the Jews have to reach the level of B'nai Nevi'im. Okay? If the Jewish people, well, there are books that teach you how to be a Navi. Of course. If the Jewish people will not reach the level of Nevi'ut, that's a sign that we're not ready for Mashiach yet. You're not ready for Mashiach. So therefore, in our generation, where nobody has even become inspired in the level of Nevi'im, you have a lot of time for Mashiach.
I know, here, but that's Israel, yes.
There is a group of Jews headed by a rabbi. I'm saying this on video because he published a book on it already. He's a very big chacham. His name is Rav Ohad Turjaman. Rav Ohad Turjaman. And he studies the books of a rabbi. We're going to discuss this rabbi. I'm starting a new series, the Sephardi Heritage series. It's a private thing that I'm going to upload with a whole thing on Sephardic rabbis. So one of the first rabbis we're going to talk about, we're going to try to go by Jewish history. So one of the first rabbis we're going to talk about is a rabbi called Rabbi Avraham Abulafia. This Rabbi Avraham Abulafia, nobody knows what happened to him at the end. He just disappeared. He tried to convert the Pope. He claimed that he was reaching the level of prophecy. He was in the time of the Rashba. And the Rashba said bad things about him. He's a Rasha, Shem Rasha'im Yirkav, maybe. You could see in Siman Taf Kuf Memchet. This Rabbi Avraham Abulafia wrote books on how to reach the level of prophecy. But these things need immense Kedusha and Tara. For example, if you want to reach the level of prophecy, number one, there's no such kind of thing as being in contact with Tum'ah. Even your food you have to eat b'tahara. Your food. You have to be in the mikveh all the time. Do you know the famous story I once told you guys on Shabbat about a rabbi who tried to bring Mashiach with his students, and then the angels came down, and then he had a flower and he gave the Samech Men? He was the student of Rav Aram Abulafia. He was his student, Rav Yitzchak Dilarina. Rav Yitzchak Kaduri writes this in his book, in his secret books that I have. And he kicked him out. And the Rashba called Rav Avraham Abulafia a fake prophet. But many rabbis, such as the Ramak, held that he was he was the real thing. So there is a way to reach prophecy. It's not like I'm a good Jew, bam, I get prophecy. That's not how prophecy works. There were schools in the time of the Tanakh. There were schools for prophets. They were called B'nai Nevi'im, the sons of the Navi'im. Okay? Now, obviously, to be a Navi, you have to be able to fix your Nefesh, Ruach, and your Neshama. If you don't fix your Neran, there's no way in the world you could even be close to be Nevi'ut. You understand? So this is our learning right now is to prepare our Neshamot for something greater. Okay? Because you guys are like the 1% of the world that knows this. 1% of the 0.1% of the world. Okay? So let's do a couple of more lines over here. How many?
23.
Okay, let's give a couple more minutes. ודע, כי הצדיק הזה, this צדיק, כיוון שנכנס בו לסייר בחיים חיותו בסוד העיבור, this tzaddik who comes inside the person as an ibur in the person's lifetime, ולא בסוד גלגול, not as a gilgul. An ibur is different than a gilgul. לכן הוא קרוב לשכר ורחוק להפסד. When a person comes as an ibur, he's very susceptible to gain and not to lose out. But when you come as a gilgul, a mamash, as a gilgul, you're close to lose out and not very close to gain. כי אם האיש הזה יעשה מצוות, נותן חלק בשכר, because as the person does more mitzvot because of the tzaddik, Rabbi Meir over here is getting more checks and he's getting more olam haba and more olam haba. V'zeh sod, now this is also the secret of the pasuk. Sometimes the tzaddik notel chelko. There's a gemara that says a tzaddik sometimes takes the portion of olam haba for himself, and he also takes chelek chavero began eden. He could also take his friend's portion. Hey, are you taking my portion? It's not fair. That's how, when you learn the gemara, that's what you think. How could a tzaddik steal another guy's olam haba? So the Ari says you don't understand. Zeh sod amok. We cannot go into it right now. Amnam. Now let's say Israel, even though he has Rav Meir inside him, don't think you're going to be a straight tzaddik. Don't think you can't do averot. You could still do averot. If Israel is going to do averot while the tzaddik is inside of him, what will happen? Ein letzaddik hahu shom onesh ve'efsed imo. Rabbi Meir doesn't get punishment for that. He has no part in Yisrael's averot.
But he still stays there?
Let's see. It depends how big the avera is. Why? Because Rabbi Meir is inside of Israel to help him, not to make him lose out. But Chas Shalom, all those schizophrenic people, all those people that have mental and psychological diseases, all these kind of people who have bad nishamot inside of them as iburs, those are also ibur, dibuk. What's a dibuk? It's also an ibur. But of Arasha, those nishamot also get punishment. The more averot they make the person do, why? Because they're inside the person's body, not to do him good, but to do him bad.
But at that point, they're not really in their state of mind.
Why they're not in their state of mind? Because they have no control of themselves. A different soul is taking control of their body.
So they're not responsible for their actions, I guess.
They are responsible because they caused those souls to be inside of them. They brought that upon themselves.
I see.
You understand? That's why they say sometimes a person does averot, that sometimes he feels after he does the averot, he could say that he doesn't believe in God right now. He could get to that point when a person does a sin, especially with goyot and this kind of averot. Suddenly after he does that sin, he feels like he doesn't even believe in Hashem anymore. He won't put on tefillin, he won't care about anything. Why? Because this is the number one reason why a person gets ibur nishamot of Rishayim. Bar minan, lo al am Yisrael. Va'adraba, im ha'ish ha'u chozer bo ma she'etiken le'etiv, and if this guy, Israel, there's so many aver, Rabbi Meir, what does he say? I don't need this guy. Who needs him? I'm here to help him instead of taking my help. He's doing bad. Bye-bye. That means, look how much bechira chofshi you have. Look how much free will you have, guys. Even if you could have a soul of a Tana inside of you, you could still do averot.
But if you're in that state where you have Ruach Neshama, you just said that once you have that, you don't...
Do you know that Yeravam ben Nevat not only had Ruach HaKodesh, he was in the state of a Navi? And Lavan spoke to Hashem, and Bil'am also spoke to Hashem. That stopped them from doing Averot. And Cain also spoke to Hashem. A second before he killed Hevel, his brother, he spoke to God. Don't take it literally. That's what happened. Did it stop him from doing the Averah? No way. You have so much free will, you guys don't understand. The situation is preordained, but the free will is there. But the reason for this, the soul that gets impregnated in a person is not intertwined with the person's body. Like a person's actual soul. Your actual soul is intertwined with your body. But the soul of the Ibur of the Tzaddik, he's over there as an Oreach. He's a guest. The guest could leave whenever he wants. It's not his house. שנכנסה בו בעת שנולד, ונקשר דבריו משם לתכלית הדיבוק. ואינה יכולה להציג משם עד יום מיתה. Your soul cannot leave your body whenever it wants, right? Even when a person goes to sleep, your soul always leaves a part of it inside the body. Even when a person dies, he leaves a part of his neshama inside the goof. Even when a person dies, or else you can't get up with Tchiyat HaMetim. What's the soul of Tchiyat HaMetim, guys? You always leave a piece of your neshama, rapach nitzotzot. You always leave on the body. Okay, that's why when you go to pray by a person's grave, what are you praying at? Who are you talking to? A part of his neshama is still there. Why? The soul of the tzaddik comes in his will, and he leaves also if he wants to. He's not forced to be there. God doesn't force him. Because God says, you're going inside this person's body, you're gaining on this. Why? You could come in whenever you want, you could leave whenever you want. Nobody's forcing you to stay over there.
The soul leaves, right? But the guy is doing good.
Yeah.
Now, once the neshama wants to choose to go back up, right?
Yeah.
Will that cause the other guy to go back down, or he's on a higher level already?
Once a person reaches, for example, we're going to learn, let's say you got to be Mirabal and it's his soul.
Yeah.
Now he wants to leave. He'll only leave on one condition. He won't leave just like that. He'll only leave if you do Averot. If you're going to continue doing mitzvot, he'll stay. Now what's going to happen, you might be so good, you may do more, you're going to get a higher neshama in him. And he's going to cancel out in your body. You won't even feel him over there. You could get in the neshama of, I don't know, Hillel HaZaken. Then you could go even higher than that. There's no end to it. You could get up to Avraham Avinu, mamash. Your goal has to be Avraham Avinu. If you're from the right side, you have to reach Avraham. The left, Yitzchak. The middle, Yaakov. Do me a favor, also give me a little bit.
Of course.
That's what we were talking about. If a person is going to be continuing his tzidkut, also that tzaddik will continue to do good with you. Because he wants to take also part of your mitzvot. Thank you. Look what he says, Ariel. He stays in that person's body until he dies. He doesn't want to leave. He stays inside his body.
Because he's gaining also.
Of course. Nobody wants to... I was learning today that if a person will have the eyes to see all the mitzvot that he does, what kind of gain he gets in Shamayim, he will never want to die. He'll just keep on want to do the mitzvot. Now this is tzaddik. Why doesn't he want to go back to Gan Eden? Because he sees by going inside that person's body, his Gan Eden is getting greater. What's the point of just going over there and just sitting and being... Tzaddikim don't have a retirement. There's no such thing as retirement by tzaddikim. Yelchu michayil el chayil. They always want to come back in a ibur. Why? They want to get more mitzvot. They want to do more. Look, open up the Zohar Kadosh. Anybody who learns the Zohar, I'm telling you guys, even if you don't understand, read one page of the Zohar a day. It's going to do for you guys such miracles in your life. You know, people go crazy over Zerah Shimshon. Zerah Shimshon, Zerah Shimshon, Zerah Shimshon. Okay. Rabotai, you have a secret bomb in your hand. It's the Zohar Kadosh. The Zohar Kadosh is Chendag Nuzai. It's the reason why this is the Sitrei Torah. One page of Zohar could do for you. It says, I think the Remes says this, and the Chida brings this down, that even if a person reads and he makes mistakes while reading Zohar, he's even then creating worlds of Kedusha. But not by Gemara and Mishnah. If you read Gemara and Mishnah, you don't understand. Okay. You can't make a siyum, you can't do anything. You're just reading. But if you read Zohar and you don't understand, you know what kind of mitzvot you're doing. Huh? Now you guys want to read the Zohar. I remember a long time ago, remember how we used to give out the Zohars out here?
What happened? You gotta stop.
We stopped because I gave out everything.
I finished my portion. I don't think everybody else did.
You had Tikkunei Zohar, right?
I finished it.
You finished the whole Tikkunei Zohar.
I started it again.
Any person who finishes Tikkunei Zohar, Baduk Umenu says, something good has to happen to him after he finishes the whole book.
Did you make a siyum of that?
No.
You have to make a siyum. Very soon we're gonna do. I'm gonna Bli Neder make my 11th siyum. Coming up very soon. Tikkunei Zohar, I'm telling you, 1 page a day. 1 page a day.
Why one?
You read 1 page a day, you'll finish 1 book a year. Every year you'll finish 1 book, the whole book.
Not that book.
Not in that book, but in my book it works like that. I have a book that it's exactly 365 pages.
My book.
1 page a day.
That's the biggest one.
Vayke, let's finish the paragraph. And if this person will be a Rasha, this, let's call him over here Yisrael. Then this tzaddik hates to be with him and he leaves. He doesn't want to be his friend anymore. He's not there as a resident, he's there as a guest. Like the Ushpizin. He can come and leave whatever he wants. If he doesn't find that this person is doing for him nachat ruach, he leaves. Also, if Israel, let's say Israel feels bad right now, he fell and he broke his hand. The tzaddik doesn't feel the pain. Your neshama, who's there, it is a Gilgul, does feel the pain. But the neshama of the tzaddik doesn't feel the pain.
Where does their soul usually rest? I mean, our soul rests in the...
As the higher it rests inside a person's body, the higher it rests, the more power you have to converse with it. You understand? So it depends. Sometimes it could rest in the brain, sometimes it could rest... It depends where your neshama is too. In the liver, it depends. It all depends. In the blood, in the blood. The possibilities are endless. Anyways, I just want to do one more sentence, guys, because this sentence is very chazak. Guys. This is the general rule. This is the secret, guys. You want to get Ibur Nishamot Tzaddikim. I'm telling this guys right now. Whoever watches this video. You want to get Ibur Nishama Tzaddik, this is the way to do it. This is the rule. There are times when people will do very big mitzvot. Asher al yada yiske sheyitaber bo eze nefesh tzadik min harishonim. By doing a very rare mitzvah, automatically you get a ibur neshama wa tzadik. You want to get a ibur neshama? Do a very rare mitzvah. What's a rare mitzvah, guys?
Yonah.
Shiluach haked,
Buying the
Petach Hamor, or Zikui Harabi.
That's right.
Of course.
Yeah, that is right.
Let's say you see a person on the street
Help us out, right?
and you make him put on tefillin. It's a very big mitzvah. It's a huge mitzvah. By doing that mitzvah, automatically you could get an ibur neshama v'tzadik.
That's what Chabad's all in.
You know why Chabadniks get their merits? You know what the merits is? That they're not afraid of anything. 100% from all these big mitzvot that they do, they have this huge iburim of neshamot tzadikim. 100%. Would you go out in the middle of Manhattan and ask, are you Jewish? That person looks like he came from Zimbabwe over here. You ask him if he's Jewish? Where did they get the merits? Ibur neshamot tzadikim. ואז אפשר להיות כי יתוקן ויזדחך כל כך עד שתשוב נפשו של האיש הזה מדרגת נפש הצדיק הוא ממש. You could get to the level where Hashem will think of you not as Israel anymore, as Rabbi Meir. ואז צריך שישלים אדם גם רוחו ונשמתו בתכלית הזיכוך עד שהוא נתלבש בנפש המזוככת ההיא. But there's one problem. Let's say there's one problem. Let's say Israel over here. Israel. Let's say he only has his nefesh. He only has his nefesh. Only the nefesh, the smallest level.
Which is
the smallest. And he did a very big mitzvah. Because of that big mitzvah, he was able to get a Remeir inside of him.
At that level?
Yeah. But the problem is, since he's in such a low level, the soul of Rabbi Meir inside of him won't
impact him.
It won't impact him. Why? His goof was not able to perceive the light of that Tana. So what does he have to do? He has to fix also his ruach and his neshama, and only then will the ibur come into effect.
So what's the point of it in the first place? And why not?
Obviously the neshama, the ibur of the tzaddik will have some effect inside of him to be able to maybe give him that push to fix his ruach and neshama. But it won't have that big impact as if he would be ready and accept the neshama of the tzaddik. And once he does that, then Yisrael will change his name to Rabbi Meir. He'll get to that level of tzaddik mamash. It's mamash like as if Hatana is walking in our generation. That's why you can see sometimes tzaddikim, they're in very high levels, even in very low generations. Because they mamash get to the level of the Ibur Nishamot. They mamash get to their level till it's as if it's them. As if it's them. That's why, for example, the Baba Sali's uncle, his name was Rabbi Yitzchak Abu Chatzira. And his grandfather, Baba Sali's grandfather, Rabbi Yaakov, the Avi Yaakov, used to say, this is the Ari HaKadosh. Where is the Ari? Where is him? Ella, when a person reaches a level where he's mizachich his neshama so much, his goof, and he's able to get the ibur neshama of a tzaddik, it's as if that's the Ari himself. It's as if you're talking to the Ari. And Rabbi Yaakov used to say, this is the Ari HaKadosh in our generation. His son was the Ari HaKadosh, and he was killed on Kiddush Hashem, if I'm not mistaken, by Arabs. Hashem yinkom edamo. And what's the proof? And what's the proof that it becomes on the level of tzaddik? Because when he passes away, is he chilling with all the low-level tzaddikim, or he's chilling with all the big tzaddikim? He's up there with them. And that way, you could change your destiny mamash. Once you get to the level of a tzaddik, you have endless possibilities. In Torah, mitzvot, masim tovim, impacting people, and getting on learning more Torah, getting to know elakut, getting to know godliness. When we reach that level,